What If Series 1, Episode 8, titled What If Ultron Won? And this episode is clearly, like this episode and next week's episode being the last two episodes of the season, clearly this is a two-part finale. Because this episode ends on a cliffhanger. I mean, last week's episode ends on a cliffhanger that we didn't expect. But this episode clearly does. With Ultron entering into the multiverse, his goal is to destroy the multiverse as his own image. He is doing the best he thinks of humanity. He's doing the best thing he could be. He sees all this pain and suffering, and he's going to get rid of it. But the Watcher's like, I need some help. I need like a multiverse Avengers, and that's essentially what it is. It's essentially, here's the threat. And this is the universe that this threat is there. Where Ultron won, he has killed off, he has killed Captain Marvel, he has killed every planet, Asgard, he has killed Thanos, because it's the classic thing, how do you show a certain character being more powerful? You let them beat up the hell out of the most powerful characters, or you kill them off, which Ultron does. I mean, the way he kills off Thanos, I was like, oh, god damn, you just sliced that dude in half. Okay. All that. And, Vision, it's, Ultron's in the Vision's body, which took me a bit, because I'm like, that doesn't sound like Paul Bettany. And then I realized, no, that's meant to be Ultron. This is, this Vision is not meant to sound like Jarvis. He's meant to sound like Ultron. And of course, they didn't get James Spader to come back. The replacement of the voice actor does a really good impression. You can tell it's not James Spader, but the thing about these voice actors who they got to replace the actors they couldn't be able to get back is they get really good replacements. As I said, a couple weeks ago, they got a really good actress to play Captain Marvel, who sounds like Brie Larson. An actor who's able to play Tom Holland, do a good Tom Holland impression to be Spider-Man. Like, they really do very well jobs of getting the replacement. Lake Bell being Black Widow, it took me a while. I mean, episode 3, I thought she was like the weakest thing out of the voice cast. But this one, it feels like, okay, this feels more suitable, because in this universe, this timeline, as it says, Ultron 1, the only quote-unquote Avengers are left is Hawkeye and Black Widow. And they are trying their hardest to stop Ultron and try and find him and all that type of thing. And it's... And she does a hell of a better job. It could be just script, it could just be direction, it could be just comfortability playing the character. But I think she does a really good job. I mean, the other characters are like... Jeremy Renner, who's kind of like the only actor from the movies is in this episode playing their characters. He does a really good job of it. They do hint the Black Widow death in Endgame, but change it to Hawkeye. I'm like, I see what they did there, and a little of a red guy in Easter egg with red guy in Easter egg with attacking the Russian red guy in S.H.I.E.L.D. Anyway, tangents. But yeah, this episode feels like setup. But I have to say this. Seeing the Watcher being, like, showing how powerful he is, because, he's saying, like, I am powerful, I am worthy, but I shall not interfere. Like, it's all words, dude. It's all words. But him fighting Ultron, I was like, yeah, what? This is why we should care. This is why the Watcher's cool. This is why. This is the reasons why. But yeah, this is a good episode. You know what? It feels like a two-parter that feels like, okay, let's see how they wrap this up. Let's see how they resolve this. This is only half of a story. Let's see how they evolve it, how they change it, and kind of basically wrap everything up. And basically my opinions of this week's episode might affect what happens in next week. So Anyway, let's hope our fingers that next week's episode makes this one stronger, better, and awesome.